Well, hello, sweetie. Yeah, I know. I'm happy to see you today. Did you come with your daddy? Yeah, do you love your daddy? He's a good daddy, huh?
I am the judge to whose department Mark's case was filed. I did not sentence Mark. I came on after that, but because I succeeded the person who did, I'm the one that got the notice that he had completed his probation and was eligible to have this come off his record. And the reason I say I only learned about this recently is that's not actually how I've come to know Mark at all. The first time I dealt with Mark was we had a civil commitment hearing in district court and for a mentally ill individual who was also living on the streets here. And Mark came in to testify as part of that. And I just remember being kind of like, this was his job, but I was also just really blown away by just the level of dedication he was obviously putting into knowing the population in Helena. He just went above and beyond to try to find this guy, to locate him, to make sure he was all right. It actually left a real impression on me, and I remember talking to the director of Good Samaritan not long after that to just be like, hey, I didn't even know about this program, this is fantastic. Now since then, I know Mark's moved on to other things. I wouldn't say bigger and better because I think that's pretty noble work, but other things that are also noble. He's working at St. Pete's now, I think sharing his story of recovery, helping inspire others. He's someone who regularly talks about his story and uses it to show other people there is hope when people might not see that. I never had a chance to know Mark during the period of time where he was using or during the time during which he was sentenced. I don't know that I would even recognize that person from everything I hear. So, but since then, Mark's just been a leader throughout. He joined the Citizens Advisory Council Committee, I'm never sure what it is, committee, and has been a very active participant in that. He's shown up a number of times in his capacity with St. Pete's to my treatment court, and has been really helpful to people who need it, and so he's just been a real role model. So it was one of these situations where not only was I required by law to grant his, to remove this from his record, this is the case where if I had a choice, I would have wholeheartedly done so, because he's the sort of person we have who actually is exactly why we have laws that allow people to have a second chance, because he's demonstrated true rehabilitation and really taken his experience and used it to benefit many, many people in the community. So congratulations.
Thanks, Judge.
Yeah.
It's not often that I'm speechless. I really am today. The love that I feel right now, it's an overwhelming feeling, and this is a moment that I will take for the remainder of my days, and whatever that is. It's a treasure to be a part of this community, and it's a treasure to have really gained an understanding of what community really means, and the people that I have met along the way. It astounds me sometimes that there are so many incredible human beings all around, and what I will say is in a life of active substance use, and that wasn't the cause of all of my problems, but it was the stem of so much. It's a very small world. It's the most lonely world that you can exist in, and I was truly convinced at a certain point that was going to be my destiny, and that was what was my life was going to be, was to die on the streets alone. And there's really, I think, 2 days that any addicts will remember forever, and it's the first time that they used and the last time that they used, and I remember there's so many reasons to change, but I got to the end of it, and I didn't want to be me anymore. I couldn't carry that weight and carry that burden, and I knew that if I changed as a person, that there might be some things on the other side of that. But again, you don't get to these sorts of days without people, and to go from sitting sitting on a street by myself, thinking that this was all that there was for my life, to something like this is, again, such a really amazing and incredible moment. I love my family.
We love you.
I love the people that I get to work with and amongst. And today is a life far different than anything that I could have ever imagined, and so thank you all for being a part of my life. I promise you all that you're all very, very special to me, so thanks for today.
You want to introduce